They call it the cerebral cortex, the external part of the brain. Now, what is interesting about this external part of the brain is the gyri, what they call the gyri and the sulci, which are the actual ridges and valleys or the wrinkles of the brain, the human brain. Some researchers say that every time you learn something new, a new wrinkle, develops inside of the human brain. Other researchers say and have shown that a newborn baby is born with a wrinkleless brain. Every time they learn something new and they develop as they develop in life, they learn who their mother is or whatever the case may be, a new wrinkle starts to develop inside of the brain to the point where at 40 weeks, according to some researchers, at 40 weeks, the brain is full of the wrinkles that it would hold for the duration of its life. Some researchers believe that the wrinkles actually stop at 40 weeks of birth or 40 weeks of age. Other researchers suggest that the brain continually develops these wrinkles. Now, what is interesting is this: whether there's wrinkles or no wrinkles, it really doesn't matter, because what really is powerful to me is that every time you learn something new, there are synapses and there are neurons and there are axons inside of your brain that make connections. And those connections of billions and hundreds and millions of connections that are going on in your brain have the potential to literally help another person. For example, you're having a conversation with someone, and as you're having this conversation with someone, something comes up or they say something that sparks a memory inside of your head. Now, you either read something about what you were talking about, or you listened to something that you were talking about, but something happens inside your brain where a eureka moment arises, and you share that information, you connect the ideas, you share those information to the individual you're having a conversation with, and when the individual hears that message, they say something to the effect, "Wow, I never thought about that. That's an actual powerful thought. I thank you for sharing that idea with me." The human brain, the cerebral cortex, these neurons, these connections, these synapses, all these things that are happening within the context of the human brain, neuroscience have talked and discovered this idea, this concept called brain plasticity. The human brain is the only organ that literally continually grows without a limit. You can't do that with the stomach. You can't do that with the muscles. They will burst. The stomach will have just problems. I mean, someone can probably get to the weight of 400 or maybe 500 or even 600 pounds, but it just becomes very dangerous. The human body is not made to grow to that expansion. However, the human brain has no limit. You literally can put information in there, and it will use that information to bless other people. Now, there's a general by the name of General Martin Dempsey, which was a former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for the United States military. What is interesting is he makes a statement about learning, and he says the following: "What I have observed over time," he says, "is that if I don't deliberately try to learn, then not only will I fail to advance, but I actually fall backwards." Every time you learn something, you advance forward. You advance forward for the purpose of helping someone else to understand something that perhaps they did not understand before. Every time you learn something new, some researchers say you get a new wrinkle in your brain. Other researchers say the synapses start to connect, the neurons start to connect, amazing chemical reactions happen within the brain. Every time you learn something new, you become a greater blessing to the person that knows you and surrounds you. This particular week, take some time to learn something new. Grab yourself, I know, I get it, grab yourself a book on a subject you know nothing about, and read about it. Grab yourself, listen to a video, a documentary. Learn intentionally, deliberately, like Martin Dempsey says, General Dempsey says, learn deliberately something new this week. So until the next time, this is Pastor Tello reminding you that thoughts do change